Welcome to What About Rob, everybody. I'm here with Wolfgang Hunter, my co-host, and JP McDade is here with us.
Pleasure.
The golden boy of Astoria, I call him.
That's right. I require people to call me that.
Yeah. How you doing, JP? What's up?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
It's cool.
You know Wolfgang? Have you guys?
Yeah, we've crossed paths a little bit. Saw you at a roast battle not long ago.
Oh yeah.
A couple weeks ago, that's the best place to see anyone for
Yeah.
stand-up.
Yeah.
That's where you see people at their absolute best.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
real
such a
shy.
show.
It's always great when there's an inherent power dynamic between comics. One's like a judge and one is like on stage.
Yeah.
It's a great way to meet new comics. It is funny too because like how they've been doing it lately. I feel like it's more equal, like who judges and who's roasting. Like it's not a huge jump, but sometimes people like who aren't as familiar with the scene who are roasting will like come up to me when I'm judging and be like, "Thank you so much, sir." Like
It's so weird.
Just being in the position, just respecting the office of judge.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah, exactly.
Your Honor, I'm gonna start doing that roast battles. Be like, Your Honor, I think
Address him as Your Honor.
May I approach the bench?
I'll allow it.
Just pull out. It's like, see, I have here a gun and I need $300 from winning the tournament. So if you could,
you should be called
give it
like
to me, please.
a girl judge would be called like Madam. Like
Yeah.
her name is like
Mom.
Everyone. Madam
Mom.
Fisher is here to.
Yeah.
That's kind of better though, having people who actually battle be judges, because like it'll be your turn before long. Like you can't be too high and mighty. You got
And they just have more empathy for the people up there, because a lot of times, I've roast battled a lot, and especially in LA, there's a lot of famous comics who are like, "You're like, why are you even trying? Why are you even trying to do it?" Like they just go in way too hard, even if the person did well.
Well, it's funny because then, like afterwards, it'll be like Derek Humphreys being like, "Hey, when I was calling you a faggot?"
I know,
up there,
I know.
Just kidding. It's like, yeah, no.
Hey,
it's
when
okay.
I said you die of heart disease in 2 days, I'm just kidding around.
I was
man.
projecting. My therapist says I do that a lot. So you're just like,
That's
what?
awesome. The judges in LA being like, "This is lame that you guys do this. The way to get ahead in comedy is just kiss the right person's ass at the Comedy Store and do blow with them."
Right.
This isn't the right
Looking
way.
at you, Jeff Ross.
Does this guy even snake his friends?
Yeah. You have to pretend Tony Hinchcliffe is really funny if you want to make it in this town. I'm an arena act now.
God damn, Robbie, Tony catching strays.
Yeah, I'm going full Katt Williams.
Come on, Robbie. We're gonna have to take the alcohol away from you. JP, hold on to Robbie's alcohol.
This has
I've
been a
only
great.
had one sip. I've only had one
One
sip. That's
sip
less than you.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
That's less than
early on.
I like to imagine the perfect actors for the perfect roles. That's all. He
No,
talks.
roast battle catching strays.
Come on. No, Derek Humphreys, he ain't got 2 years left with that heart. Come on, don't think
Tony's a good guy. He's put a lot of people up.
What a beautiful sacred text.
All I'm saying is
That
Joe Rogan's
podcast is.
pushed out
Still need
6
to watch
comedians
it.
and they ain't ever been funny.
It really got big in the zeitgeist. Like I've had like people who don't care about comedy or pay attention, like ask me about it.
All I'm saying is James Pontillo's pushed out 6 girl comics and he ain't hit a one. He ain't hit one of them. That's all. Oh, come on now. James puts you up and does you do the check spot, Cat.
He lets you judge.
That rocks. That rocks seeing people realize, like people who don't follow comedy closely realize like Katt is actually like one of the greats.
Greats, yeah.
Like people have been asking me for years, be like, who do you think is like the greatest comic of all time? And like more than once I've been like, Katt Williams is probably the greatest. And they're like, really? It's
Yeah.
like, no, for real. He's a lunatic genius.
The Katt Williams revisionism had been
Come
kind
on,
of bubbling over, I feel like, for the last like 5 or so years. Because he was like kind of a disgraced comedian because he like spiraled out of control. And, like, he fought a guy at the Comedy Store one time.
He did some wacky shit on TMZ.
Yeah, he did.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Cat, why you being mean to James Pontillo? Because he shit on Dan Wicks. Come on.
Yeah.
Dan Wicks is the GOAT, motherfucker. Who shakes like Dan Wicks? Not you, not nobody.
Dan Wicks has 1,200 roast battles out there. They're on Netflix and Tubi.
You tell me if you see James Pontillo and Dan Wicks back to back, you're not taking Dan Wicks' side.
James Pontillo stole being autistic from every comic on roast battle.
When you're not see, that's what they do. Hollywood puts you on a train. They make you obsessed with trains and then you put you on one.
They give you the autism vaccine, not me.
Not me. But yeah, I've been bubbling over that. I feel like that interview weirdly made everyone be like, yeah, he's the GOAT. He's like one of the best.
He is. People, this is the year of real talk, Robbie. So you don't hang out with black people like I do.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that, I have to work with, and they are forced to listen to me when we, are working at the bar. But it's the year of real talk. It's the year of truths.
Yeah, that's true. This has been a big week for black people spilling the tea on podcasts.
For truths.
Draymond came back in podcast form today, and he was like, "Yeah, I cried." And everyone, he spilled. It's like a soap opera.
I mean, it's powerful.
It's the same. He basically did what D'Elia did, which is he like went radio silent, and then came back in podcast form. I was like, yeah.
It's funny to imagine Robbie's just confusing the Jonathan Majors interview with Draymond Green coming back. Yeah, they started talking about the Marvel expanded universe.
I'm watching the Katt Williams interview like that. Draymond Green is crazy. I didn't know he knew all these comedians.
Did you watch
Draymond Green was the host of that show that Katt Williams was on.
He punched Katt Williams in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Did you watch the whole interview, JP?
Pretty much, yeah. I either watched it or listened to all of it.
What are the highlights? Like, what did he say? What did he talk about?
Oh, man.
So much. It's like a 2.5
It's overwhelming.
hour.
It's going to have to be studied like the Bible.
I feel like this is the Iliad of podcast interview, of black podcasts.
You're going to be able to get a minor in this in 4 years.
100%.
Yeah.
But he said he blew the lid off like Cedric stealing a joke from him, and I didn't believe it at first, but then someone posted a thing recently, like Cedric put out a special a couple years ago that I really liked. I thought it was funny, and then like there's the one bit in there, the Bominicious joke about like a guy whose name is supposedly Bominicious, but it turns out he's saying by my initials, and that exact joke was in a sitcom in like 1987.
Whoa.
And someone like put a side-by-side video. It's like, God damn.
Wow.
Cedric stole a joke.
And that's like a devious thing to steal from. Like, oh, I know no one.
Yeah, because that's not like
check.
a thing you can chalk up to parallel thought. Because you have to have like a rare major retard moment in your brain to like fuck up a word.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I think black people operate on a different level than us on rhyming. You know what I mean? They just pick up on rhyming a little bit better.
Really?
Go on.
They love it. You know, it's like Eric Adams is a great example. The mayor of New York City. No mayor has rhymed more than Eric Adams.
Shannon Sharp, actually. Shannon Sharp is the mayor of New York City.
I forgot about that. But Eric Adams was like, I was disrespected and I was rejected and now I'm elected. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. They just it just comes more naturally to pick up on rhymes.
Robbie's like, yeah, black people are always just hip hopping around. Always just bebopping and scatting. What is that?
I stand by that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be defensive because, no, we love black people on this show.
Shout out to black people.
I thought by wearing this Outcast shirt, I'd be allowed to be racist on a podcast.
That's Jimi Hendrix, dude.
God damn it! No, this is Shannon Sharp and Katt Williams.
Yeah, that's D.L. Hughley and Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah. So wait, what else did he talk about? So he accused people of stealing jokes. Did he accused people of being gay or something too?
No, the thing was he insinuated that Hollywood awards you with a weird light-skinned wife that's probably
He made a very specific claim.
But it was then have you seen the screenshot?
Yeah, I've seen the screenshot. And it's like, wow. He said it was about 7 people, and they came up with pictures of 7 people. It was like, it was like close enough. A lot of these guys have very attractive wives, but it was like, oh, goddamn, that lines up pretty closely with what he said.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He hinted at like a pedophile cabal of sorts, a consortium.
Consortium was the word he used.
Consortium is popping these days. And he said something about Chris Tucker that was like maybe not suggesting he was gay, but he talked about how Michael Jackson gave him a nickname. He called him Christmas. Like a man ever give you a little nickname like that?
Little nickname is an amazing.
He called him Christmas.
There's a part.
That's my favorite Sandler movie. Little nickname.
He was like making like comparisons between sports and like comedy. He's like, and when I go into that room, I get on the line and I put my toes down. I say, "Come on, boy." And he's just
when you get on that line, boy, it's awesome.
And he's just staring down Shannon Sharp, who's wearing like a nude fucking like hoodie that's like way too tight for him.
Shannon Sharp, who posts videos of him benching like 200-pound dumbbells on an incline.
It was Black Freak the Mighty. Like it was just like a very like dim-witted, like very strong man.
That reference missed me a little bit, but all right.
Never had to read that in elementary school?
I don't think so.
Black Tommy boy.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
Big guy, little guy.
They went on a road trip right after that podcast ended.
Yeah, they did.
Freak the Mighty's like
Katt, you gotta stop talking like that.
And there it is. Why'd you throw that lob to the
I handed him the tea to tee himself
stop
up.
Spilling the tea, Katt.
It's really serving right now.
Let the boy expose the joke.
Let the boy serve, cunt.
There
Wow.
it is, yeah.
That was the synergistic
I
moment.
think we have to bump
The
mics now.
Hurley
Is that what we
cat.
do at the cellar?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, and now the cord's broken.
Yeah.
Scott's like, don't
We
do
lost
that.
the audio.
Right.
The audio was
We lost
gone.
the audio. It's now butter.
Somehow the video is gone now because you guys
Yeah.
did that.
But he was calling out everybody. Someone I spoke to recently had an interesting theory that he's telling the truth most of the time, but anytime he mentions a number, he's lying.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because he doesn't know how to do numbers. He has math dyslexia.
Maybe not great with number. He said he runs a 4.340 now.
He said he read
That's
3,000 books.
He
preposterous.
showed the receipts though. Do you see that?
That was massaged, but
Yeah.
It was massaged.
he's fast. He's
He was
fast.
fast.
He's quick.
he's
I
a
don't know if
fast
that was
man.
crack
Yeah.
enabled. We were talking about that, speculating if there's performance.
Oh yeah,
enhancing
stimulants.
drugs.
Could be.
Yeah, that
But
does.
3,000 books a year is like, it just defies the laws of space and time.
Yeah, he would have not, like, he's had a very interesting life. He would not have been able to have a life like that if he spent that much time in the library.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't check out.
No.
Maybe he was just
Not
on
a problem.
crack and just flipping
He
through
also
the
said
pages very,
Def
very
Jam was
fast.
recorded in 2018 and like then.
Yeah, he
2019.
misspoke about a couple of dates and then he
Dates.
went back and like his
He's-
producer corrected him or whatever.
He was off by like almost like 20 years.
Yeah.
So.
Numbers
It's the
are
margin of error, motherfucker.
not. He's not a stand-up mathematician.
No.
I'm marginalized, Shannon.
Why do you think he did that? Like, what was like? Why did he?
Because somebody.
To sell out his next 3 tours.
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably.
everyone is talking about him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the reason. I think it's that apparently it was that Ricky Smiley came on the thing.
And Steve Harvey. Steve
Steve
Harvey was
Harvey.
on not long ago, and Steve
Yeah.
Harvey was like talking about the kings of comedy and like why this person did that and whatever. And then like Katt was like, I need to set the record straight.
Cat fires back.
Yeah.
That's funny. God damn, dude. So Steve Harvey was like the Archduke Franz Ferdinand getting killed, and then Katt started World War III in the
Katt
Black-
was the Prussians or whatever.
however that war
Went in there,
went.
dug some trenches.
Yeah. Well, now Jo Koy's in the hot seat.
Well, I'll postulate you this. World War I bankrupted Europe, but how come none of the banks went bankrupt? The franc wasn't worth nothing, but every Jewish-owned bank still had a hefty profit margin.
No, Katt, don't go there. Don't go there, Katt.
I'm kicked out of our school. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Cat is having a car. But yeah, Jo Koy. He, I think once he sold out his writers, everyone was
Tough
like,
look.
We have free reign.
Take
to,
the bomb.
Yeah,
And also, 10 days to get ready for an award show.
yeah,
Is
Very
enough time.
feasible.
Very, very,
yeah.
very doable.
Actually, it's great because you can just do the most topical.
Right. Yeah. Write it all 2 days before.
Yeah, for us who like cram our roast battles every time we do them at this point,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, dude.
The funniest thing to imagine is that he had the throwing the writers under the bus thing planned. It's like, all right, I'm going to bomb here. And then I'm just
Yeah.
gonna-
Then it's like a beautiful
one.
deconstructed
Right.
art piece.
He's
Stand
like,
corrected.
he's like, ooh, I got my recovery locked and loaded. Yeah, man. That's a tough look, and I don't think I've seen a bomb like that.
Yeah.
In like even in a like it never goes well at the awards show.
I'll devil's advocate. Those are tough rooms.
Yeah,
Like award shows like that, especially where people are sitting at tables.
It's Botoxed out people that are just coked up and they're also
Sure.
having their own drama. Like the biggest thing to come out of the Golden Globes was just that like fucking Selena Gomez wasn't allowed to take a picture with Timothy Chalamet.
Sure. Yeah.
I did see like a tweet that was like, "How dare Jo Koy make fun of Taylor Swift and Greta Gerwig the year that she had the biggest tour and Greta Gerwig is the biggest movie?" It's like, because they were nominated for those exact things. It's like that's when you make fun of it, right?
That's exactly who you're supposed to make fun of.
Yeah, and yeah, anyway, but it got like 40,000 likes. I'm like, is everyone's just like, did everyone just forget how things work, how anything works ever? You know, but yeah, Jo Koy. Oh, so I feel like at the Golden Globes here, my strategy would be I would just make fun of the TV shows. Because for some reason we make fun of like prestige film, everyone like their buttholes clench. So like, but these movies are so important. You can make fun of
my
like
strategy would be to go out there and then just introduce myself and be like, all right, everybody, get the fuck down. Which one of you was a pedophile? I couldn't read the list. It was too long. I didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
Well,
right
if you watch if you watch any award show since honestly in my lifetime, I feel like they just never go well. Like those monologues, even the Ricky Gervais ones, like
Sometimes they crush, but it's rare. I think if they're in a setup like that, like the Golden Globes, where people are eating and drinking, people, it's tough. Like people are literally facing away from you.
Right.
It's tough. Like I've read for a couple of award shows, and like if it's set up like that, it's just the producers knew going in. They're like, hey, this is going to be a tough comedy room.
Really? Yeah. What
So
award show
it was-
did you write for?
I wrote for the 2019 Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year Awards. It
Nice.
wasn't on TV or anything. They just set it up like it was going to be because it normally was, but then
Yeah. Right.
that wasn't. And then I wrote for another unairing award
Yeah.
show. It was like not an award show. It was like the Humane Society
Yeah.
benefit
Ooh,
this year.
That one sounds
Do you think
tough.
it was
Oh, dream audience, right?
Real, yeah,
bunch
just
of
a bunch of
Upper West Side
yeah, fucking
billionaires.
animal people.
Do you ever think it's because they're like looking through your credits? Like JP McDade has also been and appeared on the what?
yeah.
Sports Illustrated sounds like it'd be a little more fun because at least everyone knows it's you're kind of you can do roasting like these
Well,
athletes.
I got to write for Shaq for that one. That was cool. And
Oh,
he's
that's
just
awesome.
like
That's
a
so cool.
super funny person.
How
So
do you
like,
deliver
yeah.
everything?
crushed.
Like
he was awesome.
I heard
But,
the same thing about Martha Stewart for when she did the.
There you go.
roast.
Martha Stewart's pretty game. I think
Yeah,
she's
she
like,
wants to win. She's a winner.
Yeah.
You
She's
might-
Polish. I
Yeah.
don't know. But no, she crushes. But like, yeah, it's just tough. Like in those setups, people they're not comedy audiences.
Right. They're there to win an award. They're not there to see a comedy show.
Yeah.
It's almost like who came up with the format for award shows? Just like, all right, the comedian goes up there, cold 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's always like nobody's really having that good of a time. Then it cuts to Brendan Fraser having the best time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brendan
like-
Fraser's usually crying.
Yeah.
But see, when Jack Nicholson got dementia, Hollywood went down the tubes, I think. Because he used to be there always just laughing at everything, getting drunk, be like, Billy Crystal, you got me again. You know what I mean? Like, that's when award shows were great.
That's awesome that you just randomly thought of Jack Nicholson in that moment and then just happened to have that impression.
JP, it's
in the
more
back
so that
pocket, ready to go.
I have so many voices that I can apply them in almost any situation that I dream up.
JP, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to side with Robbie.
Sorry, my bad.
Can't
My
know
bad.
how the sausage is
Please
made.
do Jack Nicholson at the DMV.
Oh, there's a lot of black people in here.
Why do I have to talk
Oh.
to a black woman?
I got a gun, but I'm pretty sure everybody in here also has a gun.
You ever dance with the devil in the out headlight?
Tommy Bear, his dad, he used to tell me this, Tommy, like, that his dad used to be a caddy out in LA when caddy for Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, like, cat, like, you'd fucking hit it into the sand trap, and
Uh-huh.
he'd just pick up the ball and be like, well, it looks like that landed in the green. And he'd just, like, walk it over there. And he was, like, completely just playing by himself.
My bad.
Another hole in one for old Jack.
Looks
Right,
like
everybody?
another winner.
So he's doing The Shining.
Yeah.
He's doing where he's just imagining like when he imagines the ghost bartenders. He's just like caddy being like, another hole in one, Mr. Nicholson.
Yeah.
Thanks there, Johnny. I guess I did it again.
Yeah, he literally is
Talking
like,
about how he missed the putt, just 1 pound extra pressure.
Aaron
It would have
Eckhart
gone in.
has that
All-
story of him being like,
All 5 irons and no play makes Jack miss my miss
You'll get it.
par.
There you go.
1 over par. I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't quite get it. But
It's okay.
I haven't played golf in a while.
Aaron Eckhart had a story.
Yeah, thank you. You're such a good active listener. We could probably learn a thing or two about that if we're gonna have guests on these things. But yeah, he was like talking, like he did a movie with Nicholson. He was just like, Mr. Nicholson, I love your movies. Like, hold it, kid. I don't make movies. I make classics.
You ever
It's coke in both nostrils.
Nostrils.
You ever see
Blow it
Hoffa? 10 out of 10. I see. He's always a good time at Hollywood. Hollywood used to be more fun, I think. Like people just Hollywood in general, you know. It was. I think now it just seems kind of like I don't know. It just doesn't seem like anyone's having a good time.
Is it more
anymore.
demonic now, or was it more demonic then?
It was more hedonistic then. I think it's more demonic now. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
I was just reading. I just started this book about like Easy Riders, Raging Bulls.
Great book.
Yeah, it's about like that whole era of like new generation directors who came up in like '70s, whatever.
Coppola and all the yeah.
Yeah, they're all
New-
fucking monsters.
Yeah.
Like people were afraid of Dennis Hopper.
Yes,
like he
dude.
was
Yeah.
chaotic, just ruining movie
He's a
sets.
literal
Every set he
crazy
was
person,
on,
yeah.
just violently attacking people. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? We can't get some other actor
But
who's
Easy
as
Rider
good
is
as
such a
Dennis,
good
Dennis Hopper.
fucking-
He's basically playing himself in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Come on, man! They're gonna chop off your head, man!"
Yeah, he had the perfect amount of cocaine paranoia for that.
yeah.
Yeah, so Dennis actually wasn't even on the film Speed. He just sort of started putting explosives around LA.
Yeah.
And we just started filming everything.
It was a jackass prank, really.
Yeah.
It was, Yeah, what's up? You're watching Jackass and we're doing speed on a bus.
I'm Dennis Hopper. Welcome to Jackass. This is called committing terrorism.
Steven just starts vomiting. Yeah, all right, Dennis.
And now we're doing a bit where we father a daughter 7 years before we die.
Did he do that?
He has like a 21-year-old daughter.
Oh, my God.
Shout out to her.
Oh, my God. And it's funny he was a Hollywood conservative on top of all of that. Like, he's just out there, like, sucking and fucking and doing drugs.
He just wanted to have guns to point at his own head. Like, that's why he was conservative.
He's a single-issue voter. I want to be able to buy a gun to kill myself. That's great.
Having a gun in every movie. That was his Easy Rider.
Mm-hmm. That was in his that was in his Easy Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Thanks.
We did it. Do you think Shaq would like that joke?
If we were girls, somebody would have given us $1 billion.
So wait, what was it like to pitch to, like, did you like meet him and like work with him at all?
I met him like during the show. Like we were backstage hanging out. That was pretty cool. But like before the show, I had to like submit the jokes to his people. And there was one joke about Kobe that he cut.
Really?
This was when Kobe was still alive, though, not a monster. But he did not want to do that one.
Ari Shaffir.
It was pretty light.
Yeah.
But he had respect for Kobe.
That's good because
I was actually mentality.
Because they like
maybe he feared the wrath of Rappaport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, they must. I mean, Shaq and Kobe have a very interesting relationship because he seems to still like have so much respect for him and stuff. But they really did not like each other when they were playing together.
Sure.
So that's kind of funny.
But he's what I learned about Shaq is like he's a very good famous person. Mm-hmm. He's incredibly good at being famous because like you can't help even if he wasn't famous, he would just be that guy walking around. People would be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
But he handles people really well.
Yeah.
Right, because he's been extremely famous for a very long time. He knows the general.
He knows
crazy.
the general. Yeah.
But yeah, he has been like insanely famous for a very long time, like
since like '92.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. He's known as like a Hollywood nice guy too, because he also got like I was just watching a video of all of his beefs, and he had so many fucking beefs, like more than almost anybody. And so it's funny that like a guy who now has a reputation for being so nice, like gotten fights with fucking everybody during his career.
Chris Dudley.
Yeah.
A book.
Stan Van Gundy. Yeah. Look at here, book. I don't like your game. I don't like the way you plan. I don't like the way you look at me.
Yeah. Wow, the grape's so wrathful. Grape's my favorite flavor. I thought the book would be grape flavored, and it was not.
I was reading Easy Rider, Raging Bulls. There was no bulls in there. Charles Barkley.
Scottie Pippen wasn't in that book.
Scottie Pippen was not in that book.
Wasn't no bulls.
Barkley was out there trying to catch a rebound. Should have been catching them books.
I was really hoping that
me and Bull Outlaw got that book.
Easy Rider, Chicago Bulls.
Tony Kukoc wasn't in the book.
I didn't see Steve Kerr in that book. I didn't see Dennis Rodman in that book. This is false advertising, Charles Barkley.
Steve, how you gonna name your son Nicholas and call him Nick? You know what your
come
last name
on,
is.
come on, Shaq. You should have known that was about movies, Shaq. You dumb motherfucker, Shaq. The hell is up with you? Something wrong with you.
I watched the movie Color Purple and ain't nobody wearing purple in that. Really fucked with me. It was a very misleading time.
I was watching Catcher in the Rye, and nobody caught anything in that.
Shaq thought Grimace was going to be in the movie? Come on, man. It's terrible.
Ernie's like, well, I think both of you guys have points about this one. I think both of you guys.
Moving on.
I like how your Charles Barkley is teetering towards Meatwad.
A little bit, yeah.
All right, moving on.
Come on, Shaq. How you going to be playing with the motherfucker?
It's halftime, man. You can't be doing all that.
Ernie goes, well, I think we all agree that we love the Bible. All right, moving on.
I don't even know nothing. I'm just saying them bitches in San Antonio or something, they got pussies hanging down the road.
Ernie, I'm sure you can't let Charles get away with stuff like that, man.
Take a bitch out of San Antonio, she can go bungee jumping with that pussy. Stretch her out to the river, bring you back up. That's elastic.
Oh, heavens.
Man, now I wish Shaq could meet Meatwad. That would be fun, huh?
Shaq saying he a financial genius, man. What he do to fucking predict stocks? He just rub his head, look for an answer? Rub the fucking magic 8-ball on his head?
Wait, is Meatwad also Katt Williams? Why is he talking like Katt Williams?
It's the circle of life.
It's the circle of life. See, I listened to podcasts in my young teenage years, and it sort of ruined my brain, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Mark Maron?
Yeah, Mark Maron.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to say
NPR.
Yeah,
NPR. A lot of NPR podcasts fucked him up.
Right, yeah. Car Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Pussy Radio.
Sure. I was trying to do the math on the beep. I was I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah.
Now say it as Katt Williams without the beep.
I gotta watch
NPR, what is that called?
And that's all the time we have for JP.
We're gonna go workshop what NPR stands for.
Yeah.
What is the bleep? Just doing math equations on the board.
Just John Nashing it.
I call it New Pussy Radio. There's a bunch of pussies on there.
Gotta watch your impressions.
Yeah.
Because Ari Spears might comment on your fucking shit.
Oh, my cat is not
did you
good.
catch one?
Yeah,
Catch a stray from
really?
Spears?
I posted a video from me doing Sebastian Maniscalco at Stick or
That's a
Treat.
great one, yeah.
Thank you. It's like this past Halloween I posted it. And this is from like
but
4
I'm not gonna
years
give
ago.
it to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll earn it. It started getting a little bit of traction, like a couple thousand likes, which is good for me, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he just comments on it out of nowhere. I wake up at like 7:30 in the morning. I'm in Florida, and I see my phone. There's this long comment from Ari Spears. Like,
What?
Man, I
Like-
invented impressions.
yeah, but no, he was like, "Why do people think this is good?" Like that was like the gist of the
Wow. What the
comment. It was
fuck?
like,
But that's his whole bag.
yeah, he's
And he's been
hating on
doing
mine.
the same hour for 15 years.
And then so I replied like, I said, all your impressions sound like Jabba the Hutt now. Pipe down.
Wow.
And then
All
he had
your
an even longer
impressions sound like
response.
Jabba the Hutt now.
God damn, JP McDade. You ain't got to do Ari like that.
Spears catching straight.
Come on now. We gonna
How
have
dare
to,
he comment on my
we gonna have to
videos?
take the White Claw away from you. You ain't even open yet.
That video was from 5 years ago, motherfucker. I don't even care about it anymore.
I ain't even opened my White Claw.
But you
yet.
want to catch a stray, you'll catch a stray, motherfucker.
That is my internal monologue.
Yeah.
You're right.
So wait,
So you
did he
did know what
respond?
the bleep was.
He responded again, and he was like, "Oh, I was just trying to give." He was like taking the high road. He's like, "I was trying to just give some advice."
to young blood.
He's like, "Don't be emotional," or
Well, he's
something
like-
like that.
Don't
He's
be
like
emotional.
most trolls.
Yeah.
I only typed out a paragraph like a fucking girl. Like a girl. Yeah, you know, brothers don't type paragraphs. Brothers speak in sentences and they don't put punctuation on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Paragraph, that's a girl move. What are you going through a breakup? Stop texting another
Brothers
man
are more
that.
like gifs and emojis, motherfuckers.
Was there any follow up besides? Sorry, to
I
cut
don't
you
think
off,
so.
but-
No, none from my end.
You should ask
But
him for. Hey, do you need an opener?
Just know that just know that your impressions that you post online are open to critique,
Yeah.
I mean,
because we're all trying really hard to
Were you-
do them.
Were you
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to break into the black comedy sphere before?
Oh yeah, no, that just shut me right down.
well, I've heard that he's
Sorry
a
about
difficult
that.
guy. Actually,
I don't know. I don't know him either way, but it's weird. It was just a weird comment.
it is. It's weird to do that to another comedian's
You
thing.
seem to know
It's
a
like
lot
a-
about his impression.
Yeah.
A comment
based
who
off
has
the comment.
nothing.
Aries clearly. This just shows me he has no friends to DM it to and shit
Yeah.
talk it.
Yeah, just doing that Shaq impression. Remind he had a good Shaq impression back on Mad TV. I'll give him that.
Yeah, no, I mean his hour is great. It's just that he never did a different hour. It's still the same hour from like the '90s that he was running.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
If it plays, it stays.
Yeah, but
That
that's
kind of
so
thing.
stupid.
I have a
But
clip.
it doesn't bother anybody. Like, people still come out, buy tickets, love it.
That's
Like,
what someone
obviously-
said about Jerry Seinfeld recently. Was like, not recently, but a couple years ago. It was like they saw his act and they're like, let's just say he told us for the last time again.
Oh yeah, no, I saw. He was the first comedy show I ever saw. My dad took me, and then I went to go see him again with my mom. My mom took me like 2019, I think, and he did some jokes from this first time I saw.
Yeah, it's tough. Your mom's gonna be like, no way, he's gonna do the same jokes.
Yeah, well, mom didn't see the first show, so she had both. My mom and dad both individually had great times. And I had a
Yeah.
good time too, but I was like, I can't believe you're still using that.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
When I was 16 and starting, I went and saw Jerry Seinfeld, and like I hated it so much that I like got into black comedy because
Yeah.
of watching it.
yeah.
What's the opposite of this?
What is ever the opposite of this is? I'm gonna go watch that, and best decision of my life. But
I want to see Seinfeld do Def Jam comedy now, though.
did Sebastian ever see your impression of him?
I think so.
Yeah.
By this point,
By this
I,
point,
JP,
I doubt he's a fan.
why are you doing that
Yeah.
to me? Don't you know
Very good.
that I like to
Very good, Robbie.
I like to do I do impressions too. Here's my impression of my father. What are you doing?
You're not gonna clap back with yours?
Shout out Sebastian.
Come on, stand up.
I've got to
Yeah,
retire.
do Sebastian.
I'm gonna
Come on,
retire.
do a little
Come on,
Sebastian
man.
for him. Come on.
I tried to loop it up for you.
like we rehearsed.
That was my assist. That was an assist.
I won't even take the gun out for this.
That was Kobe passing to Shaq so he could dunk.
Yeah. What are the other?
Fucking-
Do they still do that show for the fucking Halloween?
They haven't
thing?
done it in a long time. It's
I
been
don't-
probably like
Damn.
5 years since
They were
they've
gonna
done
do it. The pandemic, they
sucks.
just stopped doing it after that.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were gonna do it again. That was always a good time.
Which
I
what
miss
are other
it.
ones? I know you did Jeselnik. Did you do any
Yeah.
ones besides that?
Did Jeselnik? I did Brian Regan,
We
Yeah.
did that at that
Sebastian,
the CISO tape.
Yeah, we did that at the CISO
Yeah,
taping.
that was fun.
Yes.
Bernie Mac Sanders.
Bernie Mac Santa.
That was
I saw that. That was great.
a way to do Bernie Mac without appearing racist. A little mixing back and forth between Bernie Mac and Bernie Sanders.
Oh, so you do the Bernie voice, but don't.
Yeah, that was high. That was high level
shit.
impersonating.
Do both.
Do both.
I was doing like switching back at like him doing the Def Jam set. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. It's
I'm
like,
scared. I'm scared of affordable health care
yeah,
not coming
exactly.
through. Yeah.
And I love sex. Love it by the pound. I can't do shit no more.
1%. 1% of the pussy is going
And I'm
to.
blessed. I'm hung low. I'm heavy structured. If I pull my shit out, this whole room get dark.
I thought that was Bernie Mac on the College Dropout, the Kanye album, for a very long time, but it's not Bernie Mac.
What about Mark?
That's Shannon Sharp.
Mark
Is that
Norman
Shannon?
Finkelstein.
Okay.
Mark Norman
Finkelstein.
Hey, all right, Palestine.
Hey, how is everybody doing tonight?
Fatty. Hello, fatty.
Bombing.
Oh, hello, hot.
Israel, I haven't seen a bomb like that since last Sunday.
Yeah, I don't actually know. I've set it up, but I don't know how to take this. I don't know anywhere I could take this. It's sort of one or the other for me. I could maybe make Mark say, "Oh, you got free Palestine, free." You know, Jews like that. Hey, comedy.
Any Puerto Ricans in the crowd?
Any Puerto Rican.
Too many.
Hey.
So that my parents raised me to not allow one Puerto Rican to survive or thrive at all. My parents were at Old San Juan and Punta Cana. I understand Punta Cana is in the Dominican Republic, but they're the sort of the same ethnicity.
Good place.
They say Israel needs a home. I thought that was Park Slope. Comedy.
I was out and my girlfriend, she's a Zionist and it's tough, but she gives me a lot of good Iron Dome. Hey, comedy. Like that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I got too scrambled in my brain.
Lady
It ruins your
Gaza.
brain.
Yeah.
Lady Gaza.
Lady Gaza.
Lady Gaza. Oh, I'd love to poke her face. There's a big nose. It's poking mine.
Yeah.
See, it's just sort of.
I take her to the Gaza strip club. Comedy.
Queef jizz anal. You cum guzzling Nazi.
Tragedy.
I made my girlfriend cry. She said she was not mad and she was fine, kind of close to mad. But I will not placate to these crocodile tears anymore.
Release the hostages. Everyone at this show. Hey.
I won't give them credence until the hostages are free.
Mike Finkel Racine.
Mike.
Go.
Okay.
don't
Wait,
know
Mike. Wait, so it's Norman Finkelstein who's also
That
Mike
is just
Racine.
Mike
Yeah.
Racine.
Yeah.
That's just Mike Racine's Twitter.
Hey, I'm autistic and Jewish and I hate Israel.
Yeah, you know, like Deb was, you know, she's being a bitch and getting Starbucks, and if she wants a fucking stupid Zionist coffee, I mean, she can go have it. But you know, mashallah, you know me, I'm trying to do brown mirror.
No, it's like-
next week.
But Jews are annoying,
good.
right? Jews are annoying.
You know, like I have a kid. Deb and I are thinking of getting another kid. Also, me getting another wife. You know, because polygamy is fine in Islam. Sort of a part of it.
I'm Mike Norman
Racine,
Finkel.
peace be upon him.
I'm Mike.
You know, I did 2 fatwas back when that mattered on Conan, and you know, for some reason it didn't.
I'm having
it
trouble
didn't amount
selling
to anything,
tickets in
and,
Gaza.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people jumped me, and it's really pissing me off. But I'm just gonna take it out on this parking sign and trash receptacle. I'm gonna scare Wolfgang while we're doing a moving job because
No, I'd love to.
You
he's
guys
not
work
gonna
together?
know what's coming from. Yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
wondering
he
why
has
you had
a
all
bullet
this, had so much deep intel. Yeah.
Maybe we should cut this out. Maybe he doesn't want that part out there because he is a family man, and
Racine rocks.
he's kind of the man. He said one of the best things ever, which was like, it's like, you know, I just, because we were talking about, like, he and I both, like, I mean, I guess most people that just have good taste, like, just kind of want stand-up to be 2008 again.
Mhm.
But he's just like, you know, I just, like, wish when I started this, somebody would have told me that, like, you know, this is for black people. This isn't this. This is for guys
2008.
like you.
2008 would have been like
Louis,
Galifianakis was still doing it.
Oh yeah.
Patrice.
Louis was coming up. Patrice still alive.
There was no turf war between like alt and club comedy. It was like
I think it was brewing. I think the lines were being drawn.
yeah.
It didn't have, like, as much internet activity exacerbated,
Right.
though.
But it's also like Patton Oswalt kind of was like doing, you know, it's like I mean, even though he was like the quintessential alt comedian, he would still do like Comedy Central. I don't know.
But the internet did, like, start all that beef because it's like it gave these people that wouldn't hang out in each other's spaces, you know, because it's like all people hang out
Right.
in, like, these theaters and stuff, and they're too scared to go to shows where black people are at, and you know the comics would just hang out at the club. But now they have, like, direct contact with each other. They can just shit talk each other from wherever they're at.
Yeah.
And that era was like the beginning of like. So there was backlash to Dane Cook brewing at that time,
that was huge. And
So that-
Mencia.
and Mencia.
Yeah.
So that was like, and then I guess Rogan had just started the podcast.
Yeah.
Or was about to.
I think wasn't the precipitating event for him
he
getting
did
kicked out of the store for doing the confrontation with
really?
Mencia? That's what I read somewhere, but I don't know.
It was O&A, peak O&A, I would say. Yeah, that was a good time.
O&A when they were still doing like the walkover.
Yeah.
They would go to like the Sirius studio.
And people would be like, look at that homeless guy.
Yeah.
And they would be like,
Whitest Kids You Know was on
Kumi
IFC.
would be like,
if this were my America, I'd hang him from the rafters. Oh man,
Whitest Kids You Know. Yeah, it's like Derek Comedy.
What does this guy know about technology? Derek
Always
Comedy.
said it, yeah.
Whitest Kids You Know was my
The Aughts was
favorite.
just a great time for comedy in general.
Like College Humor was really good at that time.
Yeah, it wasn't like
oh yeah,
What,
Jake
Kill?
and Amir. Remember those guys?
They were starting up. Yeah.
what killed College Humor is when they put out that music video that's like I forget what it was, but it was like some pop punk song, and they go around the entire office.
Oh, and I'm not sick, but I'm not
well.
Yeah.
And then it's just like all these. It was so
A little bit too into themselves.
Yeah, they were.
How about Harvey Dangerfield? I'm not sick, but I'm not well. All right, okay.
I'm a real flagpole today, okay?
Hey, get no respect.
Hello.
JP, if you didn't live in Astoria, would you have come done this? What you know now?
This was the outer limit of the distance I would have traveled to do this pod. Yeah. Not one more subway stop. And it was 0 subway stops.
Yeah.
One more subway stop. I shan't. That's right. I'm doing Norm Finkelstein again. It's a little bit slower. He talks like this. He's sort of a Chad Jordan Peterson, if you will. He's the man. He's sort of he's the Chad version of the trumpet guy that's like, I went to NYU to study
that
film.
guy, yes.
What do you know about art? You don't know shit. He's like that guy, but a little bit more chiseled, a little bit standing up straighter.
Has more of a chin.
Yeah, he has. He unfortunately didn't get the body of that guy. Yeah.
You also do Norman Bruce
Both of them had them
Springsteen.
free.
1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of God. Or let's get rid of Israel.
So what do you want to talk about, JP? What do you want to talk about?
I'm here to fix you, boys.
Yeah. This is JP's audit of the show.
Yeah.
But College Humor. Yeah, that was a lot of those like early. It's funny. I'll check in on some of their YouTubes, and they'll still have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Like those first generation YouTube comedy things that were like massive at the time. And they'll still
when like 100,000 views was a ton of views.
Yeah. But they still have a shitload. They all have like millions of subscribers and
The
stuff.
Like
followers-
if you were big in comedy at the same time as drinking out of cups,
Right.
Yeah.
like you were popping on YouTube.
Dude, imagine the Numa Numa
Oh,
song
yeah.
coming out today. That would
No,
get like
like-
200 views.
Yeah.
You like go on YouTube and like you'd have like a hundreds of thousands of views, and then there would also be a video of like 2 black guys reacting to your comedy that has hundreds of thousands. You'd be like,
Within 12 hours, the
I've-
entire cycle would be complete.
Yeah.
You'd be back to being done.
you'd be doing
Because I was thinking about like William Hung. Like certain people would be better served by having their moment of infamy now.
Right.
Like William Hung would be the perfect example because like if he did what he did in like this season of American Idol or whatever,
Yeah.
he would have a rough like 12 hours on Twitter and then he'd be done.
But he milked that. He like made money from.
I'm sure he made money.
he got
but,
like.
he also had the entire country doing a racist impression of him for like 8 months.
Hey man,
Just kind of
get
kept
that
going.
bag however you can. He made
Yeah.
he made a full CD that like did really well. I think I bought it actually at the time. Maybe I didn't buy it, but I definitely listened to it.
Was
at
this
least
like
once.
a comic that went on American Idol?
He was a singer. He went on American Idol and he tried to sing. It was like a
Bang.
classic guy who no one ever told him that he couldn't sing because his parents probably had like 3 jobs and they're like, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
go sing.
So he was a girl?
American
Yeah,
Idol.
He was a boy.
American Idol. You're familiar with it, right, Wolfgang?
I'm familiar with the concept of American
Well,
Idol.
now and then they.
That Robbie.
He was one of those like kill Tony. Like, all right, let's just have on someone who sucks and we can make fun.
Oh,
of
he was
that.
their Beetlejuice.
No,
Kind of.
no, Beetlejuice rules.
That's a
Beetlejuice is
matter
like
of
welcome
opinion.
into the inner
Yeah.
circle.
No, it's more so like it was like a.
fun-
No, he was like
functionally-
William Hung. He was like when Howard Stern show would have like the small penis competition,
and that's a great.
Oh, he was
segment.
there,
those
Tom
guys
Myers.
would come in. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
kinda
Tom
He's
Myers.
Tom
Yeah,
Myers.
that's
He's
that's
a
a
Tom
better.
Myers type guy, and like he couldn't sing, and he did "She Bangs" by Ricky Martin, and it was like on every late night show.
What you have a bang hit transplant?
Yeah, nicely done.
Thanks.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
But yeah, he
That's
like
how we do it.
But he like he got like TV. He got like he did like live show. I think he went on like the American Idol tour and like did well and stuff. So That's the thing. If someone was just on TV,
Oh, that's cool that they put him on the tour. That's good.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
people probably went ape shit for William Hung.
he was probably the breakout star of that whole season.
Yeah.
It was like not a phenomenon, but it was like because it was a huge show at the time.
That'd be funny if he didn't get that his fame was like ironic and he legitimately thought he was the best singer. And like he just
Yeah.
developed a real huge ego.
Right.
And, like
he starts to be like, "Get out of this is
A
Hung's
drug
green
habit.
room, everybody.
Yeah.
This is Hung's green room."
Oh, yeah, that really is like a Kill Tony type thing, though. That you see that now. When I was like down in Austin, there was guys where it's just like the ironic guys. They bring
people
on.
getting pumped up and not
They're
knowing
like
that
pumped
like
up. It's like they
they're
bring
the
you
butt
on
of the joke.
because you're fucking retarded.
Yeah. Some open micer named like
There's like a
named like
Spanish-
Mr. Table who
But-
Tony just likes to have on to like mock his race.
There's like a Spanish guy on from like Spain named like Dick or something like
Mhm.
Ricky or Richard, and he's like fully like it's like hack 80s jokes, but he just sounds like retarded because the ways people in Spain talk, even when they're speaking their native tongue, is like infamously just
With the lisp.
zesty, lispy, like
I have a that for life. Yeah. Ibiza. Ibiza is a very funny thing from them to call a place in Spain because everyone's what's up?
Nothing. I was just saying your game.
Oh.
Dick small.
That's rude.
No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
a rude thing to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's ruder than the small penis
Yeah,
contest,
but
quite
here's the thing,
frankly.
I still have the gun in the bag, so.
I love the
You're gonna
small
have to deal
penis
with it.
contest because Howard is like,
No trigger discipline at all on the
No.
show.
Oh no, dude, I'm not.
trigger, please.
I was actually surprised when Ian fucking pointed that thing on that clip they put out on the Adam Friedland show. He did have his finger on the trigger guard. That was a good catch, by the way, JP. I mean, it's a fake gun, so I don't need trigger discipline. But
See if the safety's off too.
yeah, safety's
Unbelievable.
off, mags out.
Yeah, I actually can't. They do that in like movies and TV sometimes, where a guy will like be holding a gun and have his finger on the trigger, and that's one of those rare things that takes me out of it a little bit, you know. Or if it's supposed to be like someone who like knows how to handle firearms or something.
Yeah, but like
24 always did it great.
But,
They
like-
always had great
Did you see the video of like the two girls who were in the back of the Uber and they're like laughing and one girl is just pointing her gun at the driver like at the back
Jesus.
of his seat. They're both cracking up laughing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, women have no idea what the hell is going on.
And she has her finger on the trigger the whole time.
Dude,
and it's
that
an
is
actual,
terrifying.
Actual
Actual gun.
gun.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
makes
real
sense
gun?
that sometimes like the directors get shot through a camera.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. By the way,
Free Alec Baldwin.
One
Yeah.
perfect shot. Yeah, free Alec Baldwin. You're dead. Yeah.
I know you said the trigger discipline thing with the intent of hurting my feelings. I'm gonna let it slide.
No, it wasn't a
I'm just
value
kidding.
judgment. It was just a commentary.
No, it's-
It was just
the
an.
thing is, I am internalizing it right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's a good move. It's
We'll
not
work on your
checkmate,
prop
but-
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do
All
a
this
full-
talk, you won't even do his act outs and his maniscalco for us. I know it's a physical thing. I've heard tales. I've
Yeah,
heard
it's
tales.
exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It,
Yeah.
it took a lot of energy
You
out
don't
of
have
me.
the cardio.
Makes
for
you
it
respect
anymore?
Sebastian.
It
doesn't
did. You know what? I read
Yeah.
his book. I like watched his specials and stuff. I was like, this guy works hard as shit.
Yeah, I
He-
like Sebastian. People shit on him,
He
but I think
performs
he's like,
the hell out of his material. That's for sure.
Have you seen his MTV Awards show monologue? That's the best.
He comes out.
My grandmother make frying zucchini in the bag.
There's like 17-year-olds like, we came here to see Billie Eilish. Who is
can't,
this?
They can't pay attention to anything for more than a tenth of a second, and they have no idea who he is. Just this 40-something-year-old man.
And the
My
best part is,
grandmother's in the bag with the groceries.
I haven't seen anyone perform like Lady Gaga since my rigatoni caught on
Remember-
fire.
Remember when Fearless came out?
Whatever happened
Everyone
to
in the crowd is a child.
whatever happened to
lady's nails are like a claw machine.
Why do all the kids have scoliosis now?
They're sucking on their vapes like. Give
Just
yourself a
crowd
chance to
never,
breathe.
The crowd never stops talking at any point.
Right.
It's said.
He's like, this reminds me of Frankie Valli. Now, he was a musician. Boo. And my favorite part about it, though, is he has this on, like, extremely gay-looking glittery suit as he's out there performing. It literally, like, is like sparkles.
Got to shine.
He seems like he could be gay, I think, Sebastian. Like, there's I don't know. I have no gossip or intel on this, but I could see him being gay.
Every time I'm out with my wife and she's driving, she slams on the brakes like, people are pulling up to see if we're Chinese. She's such a bad driver. That's what I had cooking in my head for 5 seconds before I decided
Yeah, I was hoping
to
you were going to do
talk.
gay Sebastian.
And you just gave it away for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
This
dude.
better be a Patreon episode.
You ever think of something? Yeah. Who's been good at hosting awards shows? Like, who is there any like?
Honestly, Well, Norm Macdonald, I mean, hosted the ESPYs and
that's great.
was not invited back because he was too funny.
Killed his wife and a waiter.
Hey, if you kill your wife and a waiter.
He brought out Will Ferrell as Harry Carey, and the crowd just seemed confused.
Yeah.
Didn't they? Who did they cut to? Who seems super upset about it?
Rod Woodson.
Oh
Or
my
one
God.
of the Darren Woodson, maybe.
That was
I don't know.
awesome.
I don't even know who that is.
It was Rod Woodson because he was making the joke about him because he had won the Heisman as
Gervais actually is great.
Got to give him credit. He did a good job
Like,
at the Golden
3 in a
Globes.
row, just all. The last one was great. And he's like, I'm done after this. I think he knew it was like, this is
format is dead.
Yeah, I think so. And he was like, you're all friends with Epstein. That was pretty funny.
Shut up. I know he was your friend.
Yeah, that was good.
But he fucking Chris Rock in like the 2000s, he hosted the Oscars a couple of times. I remember him like crushing it. I think he was like at the height of his powers then. But
I remember that. I like Jon Stewart too. When he did
What did that sound like?
Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Damn, Chris Rock catches three. No,
Don't obfuscate, do Chris Rock.
I don't do a good rock.
What was nominated?
I don't believe it.
I don't do a good rock.
You got soul, JP.
A beautiful man nominated for Best
I'm a
Picture.
funky ass white boy, but
Yeah.
I don't do a good rock.
What the hell is The
No, dude,
Departed?
Yeah, you have to just.
JP McDade, goated with the sauce.
That's right.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
He always repeats his.
Well, I remember there was one award show. It was like it must have been the Oscars. Chris Rock was like, "Who the fuck is Jude Law?" And then like Sean Penn took offense to that, and like Sean Penn came up to present an award later. He's like, "I just want to address the question of who Jude Law is. He's one of our finest actors."
Oh my
I
God!
just got real sensitive about it.
Some of these actors are the most self-serious people in the entire world. Even Downey Jr. one time, not one time during that in the Gervais.
They have trigger discipline.
I thought you said trigger. But Downey Jr. during the Gervais thing, he was like, "Well, this has been a very sinister evening," like trying to be like Gervais was too mean, basically. And it's like
Robert Downey Jr. said that? The guy that did A Black Man.
in Tropic Thunder, like 2 years before that too.
You'd think he would have
It was
the
like-
best sense of humor about that.
I think actors just have no
He
idea.
didn't just do a Tropic Thunder. He did a complete behind the series, like scenes mini documentary over it. I had a stroke there for a second.
He
but-
did the commentary.
Yeah,
too.
he did the commentary.
Yeah.
He fucking. They
He
had
had a hell of a time being a black
He had
guy.
an Indian guy in a fucking bathtub pretending to be his son. He was like, "This is chakras, and this is how you learn the chakras with his chi." It's just like
He might not have understood the satire. He might have just been like, "It's very funny to play a black
Yeah.
guy."
But
But
that movie's fucking awesome.
oh, it's the best. But I also think a lot of actors just there's no core there. There's like no true. Like a lot of the best actors are good at acting because they have no true personality.
That's what they said about Peter Sellers. Like no one had ever really knew who he actually was,
Right.
Because he was always just doing some character. I mean, I don't know how true that is. He seemed like an interesting enough guy in interviews and stuff like that.
And he was a good writer.
Yeah.
I think the writers usually the actors who can also write are usually very interesting. I think, but like
that's the whole Nicholson thing too, right? He's
Yeah.
like, I'm a successful actor because I'm a good fucking writer.
Yeah. Oh, did he say that?
Yeah.
I like that. But like De Niro's a great example of like a fantastic actor who just seems to have no core or personality.
Like he's a
to
tough
him.
interview.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not the greatest hang.
No,
No.
yeah, he seems like an explicitly bad hang. Like he'll just kind of like sit there and just like look at you,
Which is awesome.
But when I was on the scene, I had swag. I had so much of it, they gave me dementia. That's right. They hit me with the retard, Ray, and I now show up to Knicks games in my diaper and my sweatpants eating fucking barbecue that I brought into the stadium. There's no barbecue. And
Every time I'm courtside at a Lakers game, I get a standing ovation just for leaving the house.
that's right. I like the Lakers. I don't like the Knicks. I think I maybe just wanted to say that word in this voice. That's probably it.
It was so funny. He looked so fucked up at that last Lakers game he went to. They would be like, they showed like this montage of like, there's on the Lakers Jumbotron, they showed like a montage of like his greatest films and peak Jack, sitting there courtside and all of his best movies. And they cut to him and his hair is all crazy. He looks like he can't even see well. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's me as fuck. Like that's every guy at their core. That is what we are.
I mean, I literally think they're
Jack.
hiding that he has dementia, honestly.
I don't think they're hiding. I think it's like it's not even an open secret. I think he's gone on the record saying I'm retiring because when I did The Departed, I could not remember my lines anymore.
that early?
Yeah, like that's why that's his last movie. Is like that's.
Oh
when he
wow, I
started.
didn't know that.
I mean,
He wasn't even supposed to say the N-word in that movie.
Yeah,
He seems like he improvised.
He just improv
He seems like
that.
he improvised his wardrobe in that movie. He's like wearing like leopard skin robes in it and stuff.
That movie made me think that the Knights of Columbus were a racist organization and not a Catholic one. So when I walked by a Knights of Columbus church in Williamsburg, boy oh boy was I surprised. I thought somebody was doing a bit on me.
You thought it was like a clan adjacent type of thing?
Yeah, I thought so. It kind of sounded like it. The way it was set up contextually in the
It's an
movie.
intense name. The knight imagery.
I definitely thought it was
Columbus.
like a. I definitely thought it was like
Yeah.
a Masons kind of thing.
Usually when
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
like any sort of like medieval like imagery or like verbiage or anything like that.
No, it's just fat Catholic men.
Yeah.
They're middle aged. Who I saw two of them run into each.
of Columbus. That sounds badass.
I saw two of them like run into each other one time. Like one guy was we were like at a rest stop or something, and one guy was wearing a Knights of Columbus T-shirt, and this other guy goes up to him and was like, "Oh, hello, brother knight." I guess that's how they're supposed to address
Oh
each
my
other. And the guy
God.
was like, "What?" Like he wasn't as into it as the other guy.
Yeah.
Like that's the extent of the fraternity.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like there's a
it's-
handful of guys who are
Really?
all about it.
It's like E3 for Italian guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like comics where like that's the version of comics you
it's
call
pronounced A.
Hey.
yeah.
Hey, 3 of them? Come on.
E3. No,
I can understand
Oh.
you dating
Italian-
one of them, but my daughter,
E3.
3 of them.
Hey, what the fuck is E3? What's going on over here?
the Italian version of
you guys picked an impression I can't do. I have to
Oh.
do a supporting character now.
Oh, this podcast is fucking unlistenable.
Well,
This, hey, don't be saying
look,
that.
I'm over here. I want to see the new Smash Brothers. I want to see Shigeru Miyamoto. I want
T,
to see.
this is
Every
how you
time they get an
work.
idea, they go on a little fucking bird walk. They do a little fucking impression.
T, I'm fucking sick and tired of you, man, not understanding how podcasts work just because you don't have one of your own, man. Coming into the studio, you know, this is how you move tickets
I
on the road.
invented this shit.
Yeah.
No, you didn't, T.
Oh, and they invented the podcast.
I also feel like there's a very fruitful thing for Sopranos E3 over here.
My Uncle Tony, the guy I went to roast battle for. He dragged me to roast battle and back, and I sold my
You know we only gave you that second round out of charity because we wanted to see a third.
Why would I even do the check spot?
It's only because you're a made battler.
Who
That's
is
why
this
we gave
for?
him the.
Who is this?
It's like Tony Soprano's, like when he sits down with that chef who has the bad personality, he's like, "You're not good at roast jokes."
Look, you're fine. You're okay. It's just not your strong suit.
People
We
don't
all
like the
love-
high chair stuff.
Meadow, you can't tell your dad I told you should be able to headline in a year. He'll fucking kill me.
Look,
I know you've only been doing comedy
you
for
be
a
the
year, but you're a
best
genius.
You be the best battler in Chicago. You can move there. It'll be fucking great for everybody.
They got a fine scene in Denver.
Denver, they got no one over there.
Tony, I need you to take down all the podcast clips. I'm trying to get into movies. Trying to be an actor.
Chris, no one's gonna look at
Hey,
the clips.
Tone, you hear about this guy? He's problematic. I read about it in Vulture.
Yeah, I think I heard that too. Chris is like curling, like, oh yeah, that's the guy who got busted for saying the. I can't say the word that's in my head.
So what? You're saying that JP's actually an alt comic? I can't wait to fucking kill him.
No, come on.
This
He's a
thought he was my
fanook.
friend.
That war is long over.
Here
There's
he
a
is.
date
Here he
time.
is doing characters.
It's like when the guy, it's like when who is it who gets busted for being gay?
Oh, Vito.
Vito, yeah.
Someone saw
It's a
Vito sucking
joke.
dick. Someone saw me doing
Yeah,
improv.
improv,
once.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
You're like, it's a joke.
Was he yes ending or was he leading the scene?
I ain't never.
Oh, I fucking knew it. I can't wait to go to him and call
Wait,
him a
he was-
fucking
Oh.
fanook.
Wait, he was doing short form improv. He wasn't even doing usually B.
He was pouring imaginary water into an imaginary glass.
Tone, it gets worse. He was doing the game where the hands were behind him and they were pretending it was that
He was
guy's
doing
hands.
he was doing fucking zip zap zap.
Are you telling me he has some sort of sexual misconduct
Hold
with
on,
the
hold on.
girl that he trained?
Was he doing the guest monologue? Because I'll let that slide. Everybody needs a monologue.
My grandfather was a monologist. Came to this country with nothing but a couple of witty observations.
Next time I see him at the creek in the cave, I'm punching his lights out.
That's a mixed venue, Tone. They like improv over there sometimes.
All I'm saying is he seems to be going out with all these girls and they're writing blog posts about it 2 years later. It seemed like they were happy when they were with him, but as through some sort of level of mental illness and 2 years of time and distance between the issue, all of the details have become fuzzy and a little bit more maniacal than they seemed in the moment.
All right, I guess we got to whack him. Jessica, say that you didn't have a best time having sex with him.
Yeah, if you could maybe like don't accuse him of anything that's a criminal or punishable offense and just sort of through your writing imply that he has some sort of small penis and that's prime enough for us.
Yeah, we just want to embarrass him.
You know, it's called show, don't tell. I'm not trying to mansplain writing to you. I'm just saying that would probably be the most effective hit piece.
Big pussy about to get whacked by being canceled. Like,
The Sopranos, if nothing else, is about 2015 New York City comedy.
Aaron Glazier, he was an innocent man. He was just a kid, Aaron Glazier.
I thought that was Black Hawk Down, to be honest. That's what I thought comedy was adjacent to. Because it's us and the civilians at this point.
I was about to say, I feel like the Knights of Columbus.
But we've lost all our credibility because the chopper of our status has crashed. I don't know.
It has crashed. And
I feel like the version of Brother Knight, the guy who says Brother Knight, is the guy who calls regular people civilians.
it absolutely is. All that's like Reddit adjacent. It's like
Well, guys who just like
diagrams of that.
I'm going to get a big like softball jacket with like instead of the Knights of Columbus logo, it just says like
Pine Box Rock Shop.
Yeah, Pine Box Rock Shop.
Listen, Christopher.
TV credits that don't exist anymore.
CISO. You get a
credits.
CISO jacket.
Yeah.
What you gotta do is you gotta get a Comedy Central half hour, and that's gonna change your career.
You gotta get a copy show. Tony, that doesn't move the needle anymore. You need to go off on Instagram.
That would be
go
a
and
really
kill
cool,
Tony.
like lame thing. Like if comedians had varsity jackets and you got little patches for all your little accomplishments.
Well, Tony
just wear
Hinchcliffe.
your credits around.
Tony Hinchcliffe does have a license plate that says "I roast," so that's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I was at a bar with him and Tristan, and like all he was talking about was like, he talks like a gay guy. He's like, I finally got my dream house. But he is making so much
He's
money.
making tons of money.
No,
Tons of money.
that show is
They
huge.
They went on sale for like tickets in March, and they've been sold out for like a calendar year.
Well,
they're
they're in a
close to selling out the Garden.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I heard.
Maybe-
it's not till August, so they probably have enough time to move tickets. but-
Someone will ask me to do it, and I'll be like, "Come on, do 1 minute on Kill Tony. That's beneath
Right.
me." Yes.
Yeah, no,
immediately.
yes. They don't call me, and I don't have a weird enough story. I've tried floating made up backstories to them, and they won't throw me on.
I liked your tweet that was like about the Jo Koy writers thing, where it's like, "Oh, it's so fucked up. He sold all his writers, but I'll totally take the gig if he asks me
It's
to."
like it should be me getting thrown under that
Yeah,
bus.
that was
Yes.
great.
I liked what Dan Carney did.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
just did the like POV. You're the writer for Jo Koy, and he's just
Yeah,
reacting
he's
to
good
it.
at those,
Yeah.
at like being the guy on the other side of a controversy.
Yeah.
That's funny. Jo Koy's just like, "What? I'm only getting paid $300,000 for this. You expect it to be good?
Honestly,
Just because I have unlimited resources to make it good?"
he might literally think that. Like, he might literally be like, "Psh," you know, because he probably sells so many
No, I
tickets.
could see it in his
Yeah, he
eyes.
sells like
It was
crazy.
He's the only Filipino
That was a
comic.
stock line he wrote for like if he felt like he was bombing, and I don't think he wasn't bombing. I think it's just like these aren't his fans, and he's been doing like theaters for so long.
Yeah, you've been doing only your fans
Yeah,
I don't even know if it was a
It's
for
stock.
years and years.
It's like what these guys aren't sucking my dick immediately.
Yeah.
I also don't think it was a stock line. I think he just said that it's like a bomb recovery. Because that's not a funny thing to say. Like, why would he think that would be a good line?
I think he thought of it ahead of time because he didn't even deliver it with like spontaneity. It was just
Like a preloaded saver line where
What, saying-
he's like
yeah.
reading the jokes before, and he's like, "Oh, these are shit.
Right.
Better have something to say."
My jokes
Yeah.
are the
I
ones
think
you're
he wrote
laughing
it as
at.
a bomb line.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say stock line. I meant bomb line.
The funniest thing he did was he just kept coming out with a mic. Like, everyone else, like, it doesn't mean him like stand out more that he didn't like have he wasn't laved up. He just like had like a stand-up comic mic every time he went out there. Comics will do that though. Like when people do SNL, they'll use the mic, or they'll, you know. What do you think about that? Is that like kind of a dumb thing to do?
Where the mic is just like not hooked up to anything.
Yeah.
I think if I was in that position, I'd be so nervous that I would just want to make everything as similar
Right.
to how it normally is as
Sure.
possible, even if that means holding a mic that's doesn't even have batteries in it.
Right, yeah. I guess Louis did that too. I guess it was just cooler when Louis did it and not when Jo Koy did it.
It's cool when the comedians I like do it, not anyone else.
That's about my philosophy on almost everything.
And that's two people. That's Louis C.K. and J.P. McDade for me.
Yeah. Two guys with initials.
Those two are linked
You guys should go on tour together.
in all ways.
You guys should do the initial comedians of comedy. You, C.W. Headley,
Mm.
Louis C.K.,
JB Smoove.
J.B. Smoove. Wow, that's a great lineup right there.
I would be honored.
And then RFK Jr.
RFK Jr.
Have you ever thought the rebranded J.P.
How's everyone doing? Are you two together?
He just does like
Oh,
he does
fuck, I
like
can't
Brooklyn.
fucking- I can't fucking follow
I'm
RFK.
technically disabled, so if you're not laughing,
It's
you're canceled.
ableist of you to not be laughing at this. Yeah.
I gotta.
went into the club and they asked me where my vaccine card was.
What do you do for work?
I said vaccine card. I didn't know this was a gay bar.
I like that he just sounds near death every time he talks. It's funny he got big through podcasting because it's like that is the worst guy for an audio medium. It's funny Twitter, like all the ads are so weird now. Like I get a lot of like right wing stuff. Like I got like it's funny I got hit with win a trip to the debates and hang out with Ron DeSantis. I'm like, who's entering this contest to hang out with Ron DeSantis?
To soak up that
High heels on your
swag.
toes,
Count me in.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you. We'll have a fun time hanging out as friends.
There was some article in the New York about how Ron DeSantis, like, he basically blew his chances of ever being president because he went over to Tucker Carlson's house and like was just such an ass. Like his wife was freaked out, and it was like he was just he was like weird to their dog. Just couldn't modulate his voice or have a normal conversation. They're like, whoa, let's get this guy out of here.
Wow. So Tucker was just like, no, it's not happening for him.
Yeah, he does like remind me of the kid that got yelled at way too hard, like at the Pinewood Derby, because his dad built the car.
No, he seems like
too much lead in it.
He has like
You sanded it too much. It reduced its total weight. It didn't go fast enough down the ramp, Ron.
Oh my God! You didn't even whittle it. You didn't even whittle it into something more aerodynamic.
I told you to put the WD-40 on the axle, didn't I? Yes, Father.
Yeah, he has like only child homeschooled kid grown up syndrome.
No,
a
he
little bit.
has dad in his voice syndrome for sure.
Yeah, he's never fully socialized.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, right.
I mean,
he never socialized correctly. He was always just trying to be president his whole life, like one of those kinds of guys.
Yeah.
well, he's probably like just from a house of people that just have terrible fucking active listening skills, you know.
He's conservative Buttigieg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
His
Buttigieg
face
was
is-
a little.
I think what loses it for him though is the faces he makes when other people are talking.
Yeah, he looks
Yes.
like Homelander in that GIF all the time. Like
Like he's
Just trying to
busting a nut.
just be normal. Be
he looks like he doesn't know how to smile. Like he looks like he doesn't know how to do it. But Mayor Pete, he just comes off as like a Patrick Bateman sociopath kind of. He's at least better at talking. Like he's a classic politician. Like, hey, and I care about you, and I know your concerns, and I'm right there with you, buddy. I was in the army. And Ron just doesn't know how to fucking talk.
Pete
to
Buttigieg
anybody.
did a video in that award show that I wrote for. He like did like Megan Rapinoe was like being honored, and he did like a video message right before she received the award, and it was just one of his speeches that's like when we walk the path of togetherness, our feet say the words of freedom. Like just one of his typical nonsense.
Right. Just
No, like he
word
fully
salad.
Word
talks.
salad.
He talks like a man. Like he talks the same way like an immigrant talks, where it's like, oh, if you said that in the language it was written in, it would probably sound so eloquent.
It's not a direct
It's
translation.
funny in Farsi. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you know, as I always say, the early bird wins the race, and it's just like this. Is not what that means.
Me Love America. Number one baseball.
Lot of money, good economy up now to me, and block list.
4 a.m. Good. And I got hit with another ad on Twitter. It was another one of those, but when it was like win a trip to go do falconry with RFK Jr. And I was like, I thought it was a bit, like I thought it was like but it's not. There's actually a contest that we could all enter.
Well, we'll all go out, and then Cheryl Hines will swoop down and land on your arm. But if you are too loud, you'll spook her.
That's a contest to be hunted by RFK Jr.
The
His
most
falcon,
dangerous
what they don't tell you
game.
is that his falcon kills you.
So next to Little St. James Island, there's actually an island called Big St. James, and that's where we go to hunt full-grown people.
It's just you and 20 other Joe Rogan fans, and you have to hunt each other to win to win RFK Jr.'s approval.
Unfortunately, all of the hormone replacement I do has ruined my cardio because my lungs have swollen to twice their normal size.
True. He's pretty jacked though.
I do
He's
appreciate how jacked
but
he
have you
is.
seen how winded he gets after a couple push-ups?
Yeah.
Well, he's also like 80. But he's like 76 or something.
He's
Yeah.
in his late 60s.
But
early
that's why I
70s.
kind of think
his
he's.
tea has like crowded his lungs with pecs.
I kind of think like Trump.
His lungs are just like a big capital T now.
Yeah.
Trump and RFK both had a similar thing. Like, shit, I'm gonna die soon. I gotta run for president. Like they're just like, well, I can't not run for president, even if they don't win. You know, and they just both saw a lane and they took it.
Well, I just wanted to live a full life before the CIA killed me.
They would
got
have
a
killed him
point.
by now.
Thank you for
though.
the pity laugh, Robbie.
No, it was funny. I just hate his voice, even in impression form. I think it's just so great.
Well, that's how I feel like I know the impression's getting there is because you guys are both uncomfortable when I start talking.
There's a theory that the CIA found different stuff to do to people other than kill them. after the JFK thing.
They ruined his voice.
Because they're like,
That's smart.
this is way too much trouble. We almost got caught with this, so we better figure out next time Nixon fucks up, we'll just like
Right.
fuck him up in a different way.
They got in like a buzzer beater, but Baxter's like, guys, that was a close one. All right, we can't let that happen. That was an ugly win, guys. That was an ugly win.
Yeah.
Most of America does not believe the Warren Commission report, but like, let's just kind of let this one smooth over and figure out something else to do to our elected officials.
Yeah.
Why
Hey guys,
kill-
look, Ronald Reagan, and everyone's like, all right, we're back.
Yeah, we could kill politicians, or we could tell them to wear high heels and that nobody's gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we leak the story out that they're wearing high heels.
A fate worse than death.
Truly,
Reagan-
It's like worse than wearing a toupee.
High heels.
Lifts.
Yeah, lifts, or that's like just be short.
That's what Ron did.
Think about what it has taken for Tom Cruise to live it down. Like he's been caught wearing lifts, and he had to be so cool to overcome that.
He's like,
He had to be good at everything.
He had to do flips and
He had
helicopters.
to literally
He's
be
like-
good at every single thing.
Yeah.
could a 5'2" guy jump off a mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He basically did
Could a
that.
5'2" guy fit into a box and
Yeah.
contort himself into weird angles and pretzel?
One time, I this is back in the day. I listened to Tom Cruise on the Nerdist podcast. Remember?
Wow.
Nerdist.
Remember the Nerdist? Hey guys, Chris Hardwick here. But Tom Cruise was on, and they asked, and Jonah Rance was like, "What's your favorite movie?" And Tom Cruise was like, "I just love movies. I love movies." And he's like, "No, but like, what's your favorite movie?"
How
He's
does
like,
he not run for office?
"I just love movies."
Too powerful.
Too powerful.
He's
Yeah,
got to
it's
make that
beneath
money
him.
to pay off Scientology or something.
My mom's like a 5'5" like Indian woman, and when they were filming Days of Thunder, she was a nurse at the hospital in Charlotte, and he came by to say like hi to all the kids in like the the ward where he was John Cena-ing them. They weren't gonna make it. And she was like, I was taller than him. I stood next to him just to check. And he's like, I do not know how short he is. He might be like...
That's awesome.
I mean, but just weird. I think he just missed the cutoff because back in the golden like years of Hollywood or like towards the 20s into the 40s into the 60s, guys were just short as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Like Dustin Hoffman's like 5'4".
Yeah, so like
Actors
James
are still
Cagney, I think is
short.
like 5'5", something like that. They're all little guys. Gotta
Actors
fit
are-
in the frame.
Chalamet is fucking tiny. I saw him in Williamsburg. He's fucking tiny.
Yeah, he's a little bird.
I mean, he's
Little
the
bird boy.
it boy, of Hollywood. All these guys are
John's-
very short. A lot of
John-
times because
yeah.
they pop. A short guy with a big head really pops on camera, and people can like angle them very easily.
I love that because it gives me an excuse for not getting anywhere with acting ever.
Well, weirdly in comedy, tall guys make it. It seems like Will Ferrell's super tall.
Yeah.
Shane's very tall.
Shane's like 6'5". He's pretty. Yeah, he's maybe the tallest comic who's
Yeah.
like successful.
yeah.
Well, Gary Goldman. Gary Goldman's around my
What
height.
about
Right,
Sam
yeah.
Morril?
Sam's like 6'2".
Really? He's
6'2",
pretty-
6'3".
I feel like he's taller than
Yeah,
that.
I'm like about as tall as like a shooting guard.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Did you give him a speech impediment?
Yeah. Well, see, here's a running joke on the podcast. We realized that following his speech patterns and the way he talks, we can tell that he had a speech impediment as a kid and worked really hard to get rid of it. But still,
Interesting.
I'm like just as tall as RJ Bellett. I love RJ Bellett.
sometimes I wonder what he would act like if we did this in front of him, and I feel like he would just remind us that he's doing Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I'm doing the theater at Madison Square. Guess who was there?
I'm literally
Went
doing
12
theater.
squee well.
Do you watch videos of Nanawan on TikTok?
Who?
Nanawan, the little puppet that says, "Oh, who's that wonderful
Are you
girl?"
Katt Williams again?
No, I'm not. I'm actually doing a different guy.
I love that all of your impressions just fall back into Cat.
You know what I'm saying? I was, I've been touring the country, and I had to get off the battle bus to stop and do a gig in Oklahoma. And,
I was texting with this girl, and
yeah, she asked me if I could get tickets to the show, and I told her to check my website. And she said, "What's a website?" And I
What's a
realized,
website?
oh no, this is an underage girl I'm talking to.
Now you made him Dalia?
What is this bit, Wolfgang? I tried to help.
Yeah, no, there's no helping me. I just have to hang myself with the rope I've given my own self.
All right, well, we're at an hour.
Yeah.
so no, that was a good one.
Maybe we should work for the CIA. Just do this at Guantanamo.
Dementia
Yeah.
has set in. Yeah, this podcast is part of the MK Ultra program.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually,
Their brains are worse than mine, and I have stage 8 dementia.
Yeah, this might be the Patreon.
That was a good one. It was fun.
Yeah.
What do you
that
think,
was fun.
Scott?
What do you think, guest?
just Patreon approves.
Just Patreon McDade.
Just Patreon.
JP decided to sit out for that whole row.
Yeah.
JP was like,
He's taken me on the road a lot.
Yeah.
JP, well,
He's a
speaking
good
of people
friend.
that, taking you on the road, I just want to ask you, what about the Patreon?
What about the Patreon?
But the Patreon.
Hey, it's me.
But the Patreon and the
what was that
breakfast.
guy? Mark Norman Finkelstein. Yeah. I want Sam Morrill.
Comedy.
Two-state solution. The state. All right, folks. Hey, solution.
Come guzzling, Nazi.
Hey, all right, fatty.
Hey, fatty.
I was brought up by 2 cruise ship comedians, and I was taught from a young age to never shit on the headliners that let you open for them. It is wrong.
The first place I ever saw stand up was on a cruise ship, and like one of the
Rocks.
first comedians I ever saw was this
Sick.
guy who called himself the Cowboy Comedian.
Beast.
I hope he's still out there. He would come out there, and at the beginning of his set, he would like ask any veterans to stand up so we could applaud for them.
That's funny.
Thank
I
them
love
for their
that.
service. You rocked.
Sorry, real quick. I just want to see if
And then
like
he called the Air Force gay.
I was looking at like the San Francisco comedy Facebook, and one of the guys was like, "I'm just working on my goals real quick this year. I just really want to break into the cruise ship comedian circuit." And it's like it's just so. These are the goals of like small. They have like these weird.
We had a
This is my avenue in. You know.
We had a black guy in a cowboy hat. He was called Gravedigger. And I don't remember any of his material, but
I can think of some jokes.
So
Sounds cool.
Yeah,
he was cool.
I can think of some fun jokes.
I also had a guy named Him Too Silly. That was fun too.
Hell yeah.
It's funny to have a cowboy hat, and your stage name has nothing to do with the fact that you have a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing is like the crazy like white people clearly like suffering from like PTSD from participating in the Gulf War.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had a guy like
Oh
that.
yeah, and now doing mics.
Mike's, yeah. We had a guy like that named like Callahan. It was like cool. He's a super sweet guy. Smokes a lot of weed to chill himself out. But like clearly he's like seen some stuff. Like one time we were just at a mic and we like looked out the window like in the parking lot. He was just doing like going around like with a gun, just like ducking and doing
shit.
dive rolls around the car. And
Just keeping the skills sharp. That's all. You never know when Saddam's gonna come back.
But I hope he comes back.
he used to have this bit where he
Return
he would
of
take a
Saddam.
balloon animal out of he would be like he'd take balloon animals out and like do balloons for people, and then at the end he would like point to a lady and be like, "Do you want to see my penis?" And they'd be like, No. And then he would just take the longest like balloon out of his pants from the zipper.
Okay.
But one time we were at this clean mic where if you did anything dirty, they would just like shut the lights off on you and the mic. So he started doing it, and like every time they turned it back on, he would just still have more balloon. So it just turned into this like
just made it
strobe light
even
effect.
funnier.
They turned it into like a John Wick like,
Yeah.
style thing.
He's holding the dildo like this. He's handling it.
I'm thinking I'm back.
There was this guy, the second open mic I ever did at this place on the Lower East Side. It attracted a lot of like Coney Island circus freak style acts.
Yeah.
And there was this one guy,
Like fire breathers and stuff.
yeah, and just other weirdos. And there
Freak
was
show people.
one guy who was clearly strung out on something. And he starts his set by hammering a nail into his nose, like
Oh,
doing that thing,
God.
like pulling it out with
I've
the
seen that.
claw of the hammer.
Yeah.
Then he gets off the box that was the stage. He comes down. I'm sitting like in a booth.
Mm-hmm.
I have people on either side, so I can't get out. And he comes like near our table, takes off all his clothes. Just gets
Awesome.
completely naked. I'm like staring into the corner, just like disassociating, like
Yeah.
trying not to know what's going on. And he like that first trick he called the human blockhead, and he's like, "This one is called the human cockhead." And he takes the nail and he like taps it into his dick hole.
No.
Like
Wait, how's he allowed
Ugh.
to do this in front of him?
This would kill at Skankfest.
there
though.
might it was a different time. You know, it was before cancel culture.
A guy gets
Oh,
canceled.
brother,
and he
don't get me
handed-
started on that.
He handled the hammer.
A guy can't take out his penis and put a nail in it anymore.
A guy can't take his fake gun into the comedy club and point it at people and say, "Laugh."
But the grand finale of that guy's set was he handed the hammer to a girl who was like sitting like next to me, and she used the claw to remove the nail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, fuck.
And I kept doing comedy after that.
Well,
That's
folks,
pretty
and that's the kind of comedy that we want to get back to. If you remember the beginning of the show.
When it was
I mean,
pure.
It's 2007 when people just put nails in their dicks, and Katt Williams was on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna do a Patreon. And JP, do you have anything to plug? By the way.
I got a special that's going to be coming out somewhere sometime this spring.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that. Follow, subscribe to my YouTube channel,
Yeah.
JP McDade Comedy.
Do you have like a Patreon or podcast or anything you want to plug to?
No,
Okay.
maybe soon.
Any
Instagram McDade baby.
Do you have any dates coming up?
No.
Wolfgang, what are you, his agent?
neither.
What's going on?
JP, I'm just saying, we got the gun now. I'm thinking, once we introduce the gun into the negotiations, we're going to start seeing a lot more money, maybe some residuals from your writing.
Yeah, the gun is the unofficial third mic on the podcast, by the way. All right, thank you everyone for listening and watching, and please keep it on, and talk to you soon. Bye.